Explainer 14, the national accounts. For Economics 101, we learn the circular flow of income. That production leads to income, leads to expenditure, and back to production. For most developed countries with good statistical systems, such as the United States, the headline measure of the volume and value of these transactions is compiled from the expenditure side. From there, the composition is pretty intuitive. Consumer spending, which is 70% of GDP, is disaggregated into durables and non-durables and services. Durables are consumer items like autos and computers, whose use hopefully lasts more than the current quarter. After consumer spending, there is business spending. This comprises residential construction plus investment in equipment, intellectual property products or IPP, and structures. IPP, the least intuitive of these, includes R&D and software. The sum of spending by consumers and businesses is aggregated into a rather clumsy expression called real final sales to private domestic purchases, or less stiffly as private final demand. It is this aggregate that is most sensitive to Fed policy and long-term interest rates, and it tends to be more stable than gross domestic product. After private final demand, the accounts measure government spending. This comprises federal defence and non-defence spending, and state and local spending. This is final spending by governments. It doesn't therefore include transfer payments made to individuals and businesses, which go directly into their categories. The last significant category in the GDP report is net exports. This is derived from changes in the gap between exports and imports measured after price adjustments. Since imports are a source of demand not satisfied domestically but from abroad, they are in fact a subtraction from GDP. In the first quarter of this century, despite 3 recessions and more recently weakening demographic trends, US GDP growth has averaged 2.1% per year. This compares favourably to Japan, 0.7% per annum, the Euro area 1.2%, and the UK 1.5%. Canada, by the way, is at 2%, and Australia 2.7%. The US, though, covers is usually the highest growth country in this cohort. If you have any other topics you'd like to cover in our Explainer series, please let us know.